Everybody, TC Bradley, host of Business Leader Spotlight, and I'd like to welcome in studio today Christian Fautz with Core Real Estate Properties. Christian is a seasoned real estate professional with over 25 years of experience. He has a law degree from St. John's Law School in New York and is a best-selling author on Amazon. Christian specializes in real estate investing both as a rehab specialist and in rental properties. Christian, I am thrilled that you have finally agreed to come into the studio. And who did you bring? What powerhouse did you bring in the studio with you today?
Thanks for having me, TC. We're so excited to be here. I brought a special guest here, my wife, Jamie, the brains and the boss of the operation.
Jamie,
you're sweet.
Welcome to the show. I am thrilled to have both of you in the studio today. Such a huge topic post-hurricane with this area. About real estate investing, and you guys are really a power couple in the real estate community here, doing so much for our community. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to finally come in studio and help really educate people in Southwest Florida of some options and some strategies and some insights that you can help sort of turn the light on for them. It's like, I feel like a lot of people at home are sitting like in a dark room, and like if you guys come on and share your expertise, it's really like turning a light on in a dark room. So thank you on behalf of our listening audience for agreeing to come in today and share that insights. Christian, I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about your two core real estate companies, highly successful companies in this market. Tell us about those two companies and what they each do, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, TC. And once again, we're so thankful to be here, and hopefully we can shed some light about what is going on and give people different opportunities and solutions. So yeah, we have two different companies, and there's really a lot of synergy between the two of them. Our main company is Core Real Estate Properties. We're local home buyers, local investors, and we buy a lot of properties that need lots of repairs. They were specifically, they were damaged through the hurricane, wind, flood damage, and those people, they're just looking to sell. They're not looking to rehab, put the property back together. And then the other company that we have where that is not a good option for them or a solution to meet their needs. Maybe they are getting the necessary insurance money. They have the wherewithal and the patience to put the house back together. That's where my wife Jamie and I work together at the Fautz Group, powered by MVP Realty. And there we can help them the traditional route of putting their property on the open market and getting the highest price possible for them.
Christian, can we just drop the gloves here and really talk about what you're seeing in the market? And Jamie, I want you to chip in on this as well. But I really want to go uncensored in this interview about your thoughts about what's happening in this market post-hurricane, because this is a hot topic, guys.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And people are really, they need the truth. They need somebody to come out and tell us what's going on. So in your opinion, Christian, what are you seeing? And then Jamie, I'll bring you in to get your thoughts on that topic as well.
It's a great point and a great topic, TC. So I'm going to focus a little bit and talk about the investment side, like what we're seeing over there and what we've been experiencing. As we all know, that first several weeks after the storm, it was quiet. Everybody was just, putting their lives back together and, really making sure friends and family, everybody was okay. And that was our thoughts. I mean, we were just delved into the community, helping as many people as we can, any which way that they needed help. And since that's happened, we've been seeing a lot of people who are looking to sell their property. They either don't have insurance or they're underinsured, or they just don't have the patience and the time to actually put their property together. They don't want to wait weeks, months, maybe years, and they're looking to sell their property at a fair valuation. So we've actually contracted with a number of people to buy their properties, and we've actually closed on several properties since the storm. Some of those properties, we purchased them with the idea to fix them back up and then put them on the market and get somebody back living in that property. Other ones, we decided would be a good rental property for us to hold as long-term rentals. So that's kind of what we're seeing. The valuation on properties, it really depends on the location where the property is located and, what the extent of the damages are.
Right. Jamie, what are you seeing in the market from your side of the business?
Yeah, so I'm seeing, so I mostly focus on the retail part of our business. So, there really has been an uptick in, buyers purchasing properties and sellers wanting to list their properties. Whether that is hurricane damaged or not. Let's face it, Southwest Florida, it's been hot. It still is hot even after the storm. So, people are, wanting to move down here from out of state because we do have beautiful weather year round. We have really low taxes. There's so many benefits to living in Southwest Florida.
So, Jamie, have the prices increased in the market or have they decreased? What are you seeing?
So I feel like prices are high for the hurricane damaged properties.
I think people would be surprised, right?
Yes. And a lot of people, they're coming down here, with hopes of being like, oh, I could buy a hurricane damaged property for a deal. I could get a discount, but we're still seeing those properties at high pricing.
Right, and that goes into your wheelhouse, right, Christian?
Absolutely.
Because those hurricane damaged properties people think, well, how can you put a value on a hurricane damaged property, right? That's a challenge.
It
is.
is.
How do you navigate those waters?
It's a great point, TC. Yeah, and that's what, when I put my investor cap on, I'm looking at that. I'm like, how are buyers coming in here and paying those numbers? Because I know what it costs to rehab and put that property back together, to whether you're going to keep it as a rental, whether you're going to live in it, or whether you're going to sell it. So, a lot of these buyers don't understand, A, what it really costs to put these back together, and B, they don't understand that you're going to be limited on how much money you can put back into this property because we have to meet the FEMA 50 guidelines.
Now, Christian, I know your background, and I think it's important for people at home to realize that you're not a Johnny-come-lately. When you're talking about rehabbing here, you have an incredible track record of success in our area doing rehabbing of properties on Sanibel Island.
All over, Cape Coral, Lehigh.
So you're not a Johnny-come-lately.
Charlotte County, yep.
How do you assign a value to a property? Are they taking into account the global supply chain issues that that our world is facing right now in this marketplace? How does that factor in to your assessment on these damaged homes?
It's a great point. Most of these buyers are not. They don't have the local experience that I have and knowledge. It's not only the supply chain, it's also finding somebody to actually do the work. The local trades down here are so stressed, you can't get anybody to come do the work. And then the third challenge, which most people aren't aware of, is that you have to meet the FEMA 50 guidelines, which is basically handcuffing you on how much money you can put back into this property to make it livable again. So that's really important when analyzing any property, and also even if you're buying it for yourself as a traditional buyer, you need to know what is your budget.
Well, if you've just tuned in, we've got this powerhouse couple from Florida in Christian and Jamie Fautz. You guys have an interesting dynamic that you bring to the marketplace because you're buying properties through your investment company, and then those people that want to actually list and sell conventionally, Jamie, you're coming in and listing those properties and selling those properties. So it's a 1-2 punch. It's a powerful 1-2 one-two punch. Now, Christian, I want to ask you, you have a law degree from a prestigious law school. How does your law degree, is that a strategic advantage in doing these investment properties in these type of post-hurricane environment that we're talking about?
Absolutely. I mean, 25 years of experience. When I was practicing law up in New Jersey as an attorney, I was involved in a lot of real estate transactions, so really know contracts inside and out. So I know the pitfalls, not only for myself when we're buying properties for our own portfolio or properties that we're going to rehab and then resell, but also working with our retail clients on the listing side where we're meeting with somebody and trying to see if our cash buyer program is a good option for them. Sometimes it's not. We give them different solutions, another club in the bag, so to say, and then we'll pivot and we'll talk to them about our realtor program, how they can work with Jamie and I at the Fautz Group and sell their property on market utilizing our marketing program that Jamie will talk about and putting it out in the MLS system. So I can make sure that, we're representing them and we can advise them and make sure that the contract is to their advantage.
Okay, so on the investment side of your company that you operate, and that's your sweet spot, tell me your ideal client. Who is watching at home right now, and who would fit that target demographic? Because this is fascinating, because Jamie, you have a different target demographic that would be your ideal client. Let's talk about on the rehab side. Who's that ideal client?
I mean, generally, even before the storm, like our ideal client is somebody that has an urgency to sell. Maybe they inherited the property, maybe they lost their job, maybe their property was going into foreclosure, and it's still that same thing today. Like people have that urgency, their property's been damaged. So they don't have the wherewithal, they don't have the funds, and they don't want to deal with the hassle or the steps or hoops you may have to jump through to list your house, right? You've got appraisal contingency, financing contingency, inspections. They don't want to make any repairs. So those clients are perfect for me because we make the closing process and the sale very easy.
Right.
Quick.
Jamie, how about the snowbirds? Let's talk about the snowbirds, right? How are they influencing the markets? I would think they influence it two ways, right? You have the snowbird down there says, forget about it. I'm not even boots on the ground. I don't want to deal with it. So they're more interested in Christian side of the business. But then you've got, as you had noted earlier, you've got the snowbirds that want to come down here and live in Florida. How are they impacting the market?
Yeah, so it's definitely like twofold. I feel like the snowbirds that have been down here, for however many years, it will be interesting to see what happens after season if they decide, okay, they want to continue, snowbirding or wintering down in this area even after the storm and dealing with just the cleanup process and everything like that. I'm curious to see if they'll end up listing their vacation properties and if we'll have a little bit more inventory. But however, we do still have a lot of people coming from up north in those colder climates wanting to, come down and enjoy Florida during the summer months.
You guys are such a power couple in real estate here in Southwest Florida, and I think it would be fair for me to say that when they list with your group, you're getting two for the price of one. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we both run on different tracks. Like, my areas of expertise is I love to negotiate. I like putting the contracts together, whether it's a listing agreement or an offer for one of Jamie's buyer. And then she's our marketing guru.
Yes. So I love, I love just really getting to know the clients. I, love holding their hand through the whole process of, okay, what is it like to buy a home for the first time? What are the steps? What is the sequence that they have to follow to get from, point A, having this dream to point, the end point, making it a reality.
Jamie, you're very active in the community as a couple. You've done a lot for our community. I want to thank you on behalf of the community for what you guys have done post-hurricane for our community. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So I'm a board member for the Heights Foundation, which is located in Harlem Heights in the Fort Myers area. They got flooded very badly. It's a lot of like lower income housing situations. So there was just a lot of need. So I was able to go with our 12-year-old daughter, and I brought a few of her friends, and we were there day one just making sandwiches, trying to feed as many people as we could. Fast forward a few weeks later, we were in contact with Walmart, with McDonald's, just bigger companies, bringing donations, and not even just bigger companies, but just these small churches from Tennessee, and just the amount of like people just coming together wanting to help our area was amazing.
It was so
incredible.
It was so heartbreaking, Christian, because it was just, we were in uncharted water, right? And it was so heartbreaking when you see the people face to face like that and do that. Christian, you on your side of the business, on the investing side of the business, you've had some heartbreaking stories. Your boots on the ground, and can you share for the our audience? Can you share one of the stories of a family or somebody you were able to help that was in a bad spot, and if they didn't think outside of the box, they wouldn't have got help. They may have lost their home. Can you share with our audience that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times when I'm meeting with people, they're on their last leg. I mean, they're at their last end, and they're looking. They don't see any really way out of their predicament, whether they're behind on their mortgage or they're not doing well with their health. In this particular situation, this was after the storm. An elder lady up in the Port Charlotte area, her house had gotten pretty damaged. Her roof, like half of her roof came off and so forth, and they tarped it up for her and everything. And she didn't have the proper insurance coverage, and she was planning on moving up north. Her son and daughter live up in the Tampa area, so she was planning on relocating there and was hoping to put the house on the market. But given the extent of the damage, she could no longer sell that property, only to somebody who could buy it as a cash buyer like myself. So I was referred to her. I met with her. I gave her what I thought was a fair valuation to try to make this transition quick, easy for her, and put as much money in her pocket. And we were a little bit apart, so I said, let's sit down. I need to know exactly what you need, and let me see if I can sharpen the pencil. So I was able to put more money in her pocket at closing and give her more money, which I was very thankful for, and so was she as well. And it worked out great, and she was concerned like she couldn't get everything moved where she was going to a smaller apartment, and about leaving furniture and things and so forth. I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I'll have my team. Whatever we, are not going to use, we'll donate to St. Matthew's or get one of the local charity organizations to take care of it. So we were thankful that we could help her in this situation.
That is wonderful. Now, I want to ask you this because I think it's an important question. What defines a fair evaluation? What factors go into that? For the person listening in home, they go, yeah, they're raising their hand going, that's what I would like is a fair evaluation of my home. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me the truth. What goes into your decision on a fair evaluation of a property right now?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And we always try to be fair. A lot of times when you talk with people, they're like, oh, you're a home buyer. You're trying to, steal my house. You're trying to lowball me. That's not how we approach it. We go in there. We really deeply analyze it. We get on the MLS. We look at current valuations, market analysis, what similar properties have sold in the area. Then with my experience of having done, dozens and dozens of properties I rehab, I do my valuation, a realistic valuation in today's market, with supply costs where they are, labor shortages, what it's going to cost me, and also the time frame. The longer I hold the property, the more it's going to cost me to keep that property. So we look at it both on what we think the property will sell for, what we need to put into the property, and then what we think we could sell it for, or if we decide to rent it. And we also, we have our profit margin in there because, we're in business to make money, so we need to maintain that level as well.
Now, to be clear, on the investment side, you're a cash buyer.
Correct.
Is that right? So
Correct.
Cash is king. Your offers are not subject to you getting a mortgage, is what you're saying.
Inspection, appraisal, all of those different contingencies. We're not asking you to make repairs if there's anything that's wrong with the property. We're going in with our eyes open and buying it as is. However, when we where it's not the right solution, and then we help them list the property, we're advising them on certain repairs that we know they're going to need to make in order for a buyer getting a mortgage going to be able to close on it.
Jamie, when it comes to pricing a house, I think one of the biggest challenges is people being realistic with the current market. Do you think that that's a challenge when people list their houses right now?
I do. So I think that that's the main thing that sellers need to focus on is having a realistic price. If you price your house correctly, it will sell, and it will sell quickly. However, we're seeing people that have priced their houses too high or their properties too high, and they're on the market for so many days. So you really want to take advantage right when you first list your house, get it active on the MLS. You want to get it out there at the right price.
So would it be fair to say, Christian, that you guys will not list a house that's overpriced, that is not realistic on price, that one of the advantages to dealing with you two is that you'll tell them the truth and say, hey, if you want to sell it, it's going to have to be set at this price, and you back that up with the data. Is that right?
TC, we don't list properties, we sell properties.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
it.
There you go.
We will not take a property and put it on the market if we do not think we're going to sell it at that price. We won't take the listing. We're not interested.
Jamie, you have a newsletter. You guys have a newsletter. It's a very popular newsletter. Tell me about your newsletter, and then how can people sign up to receive your newsletter?
So our newsletter goes out weekly, and it, it features properties that we may have listed or that we may have just sold, but it's not just about properties for sale. It's also about the lifestyle in Southwest Florida, things that are going on, new restaurants opening, boating days, what it looks like to be out on the water. So it's just a variety of things. And we also include tips on, how to stage your home for an open house, or things you could do to get your home ready to list, or, why taking professional photographs is so important when you're marketing your house for sale as opposed to taking them with your iPhone. So
people find us.
So people can find us at our website at www.thefautzgroup.com. If you go on the top, there's a bar that says sign up for my newsletter. Click on that, and that's how you sign up.
We're going to drop a link down below for the people at home to sign up for that newsletter and how to get in touch with this powerhouse couple. Christian, I'm going to end. We're almost out of time. I've loved having you guys in the studio. I want you to come back and see me. If you'll do that in a few months to keep us up to date with what's going on in the marketplace. Absolutely. But Christian, right now, I want to ask you to do something because of the side of the business that you're on. There's so much heartache with people that are in that position.
Sure.
I want you to take your time right now, and I want you to speak into that camera. Speak to that person that is in that uncertainty boat. They feel like they don't have a way out. They don't feel like they have a solution. They're sitting there with the storm-damaged house. The insurance has gone funky at them. It's just, they don't feel that they have an option. I want you to just take your time as we close out and speak to that homeowner right now, if you don't mind, sir.
I would say first take a deep breath. All things, this shall pass, and I tell people that. And I think the most important thing is really to make sure that you're accessing all the available resources that are available. We had FEMA with boots on the ground here. Make sure you're in communication if you have an insurance claim with your insurance adjuster, or if you went the route to hire a public adjuster. Stay in communication, stay on top of things. Get multiple estimates on repairs. I think that's super important, and if your property is below the FEMA base flood line, you're going to need to meet the FEMA 50 valuation, and it's better to get a certified appraisal, which will give you a higher dollar amount versus using the county appraisal site, because you're going to be limited whether you're selling the property or you're going to be putting the property back together. You're going to be limited to the dollar amount under the FEMA 50 regulations, which is 50% of the value of your structure. So it's very important that you follow those guidelines, and just have faith that you're going to get through this, that there are different solutions, that there are different options, whether you want to sell your property as is or whether you want to work with a professional realtor like myself or Jamie. We're here to help you.
Christian, Jamie, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to drop a link down below so you can connect with this powerhouse couple here in Southwest Florida. Guys, thank you so much for coming in today. And I want you to come back and see me. Will you do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you have any specific questions, you can reach us at thefautzgroup.com or send us a text at 239-778-1292. We're here to help in any way we can.
We're going to drop a link down below for this powerhouse couple. Thank you again, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Amy Lynn. We're back with another edition of Business Leaders Spotlight, and today we're featuring Christian Fautz from Core Real Estate Properties. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. Congratulations. How are you doing, best-selling author?
Excellent. I'm so excited to be here. It was such an honor and privilege to be a part of expert profiles, innovators, and influencers. And my particular chapter was about real estate and helping sellers that needed to sell their property quickly.
Yeah, you and I have talked, and what you got inspired to do was help people that really almost were at a time where they were past the point of being able to get help when they were struggling.
Correct, exactly. We provide open and honest communications with the people that we meet with who are facing financial difficulties and need to sell their house. And I found that being open and honest in our offer that we made is just as important as the amount of the offer.
It's really important for people to know that there's somewhere that they can go, because I think a lot of people struggle and they don't say anything, or they don't know who to say anything to. So that's where they can come in and get in contact with you.
Exactly. And a lot of times it's best if they contact us earlier in the process, because then they have more options that are available to them, and we can help them with their financial situation so that they can move on and have a clean slate.
Exactly. So along with getting the book that you have your chapter in, Expert Profiles, and also getting a hold of you and your real estate agency, Core Real Estate Properties, how do we do that?
Best way is to reach us through our website at corerealestateproperties.com.
Now, I also hear that along with being on paper, you're also doing a lot now on social media, so we can see you on different platforms, right?
Exactly. So one of the things that we started doing at our company is uploading a lot of the videos of the remodeling and the rehabs that we're doing on the properties that we are closing on. And also we're starting to do more testimonials with the different clientele and sellers that we've been able to help.
That's, you know what, there's nothing like having a first-hand conversation with someone who has been helped by you to let other people know that they can actually reach out and get your help as well. How do we get in contact with you?
Exactly. Our Facebook page is Core Real Estate Properties, and we have our YouTube channel as well, Core Real Estate Properties, which is connected to all of our social media.
Fantastic. Christian, congratulations on the success of the book and continued success with Core Real Estate Properties. Thank you for being on this morning, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Find out more by logging onto our website, fox4morningblend.com.